Well, greetings. Hi, this is Hallam in always sunny Barbados. Of course, we're back with another podcast on cryptocurrency and blockchain developments. As we always say, this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Cryptocurrency trading and investing can be very, very risky, and we ask that you do your research and that you find the best people to get all the advice from. This is just our opinions on what we see happening in this space. Last time out, we looked at the difference and compared trading with investment. It was a very brief podcast, and today I want to go a little bit further and look at the issue of security and, in particular, what's happening with an interesting exchange called KuCoin. KuCoin, which you can do some research on. Remember that Google and YouTube are your very best friends. And of course, you still have to be very careful with what you watch and read and listen to and be very discerning. So, security has been a main bugbear, I think, to why some people have not gotten into investment and trading, particularly at a time when they should be doing so, given that we've had a very protracted bear market and we see that Bitcoin is now struggling to get back up on its feet. And it's at a kind of very interesting price mark of around $5,000, which people should consider whether they want to invest at this time and whether it might be going up in the future, or whether it might be going down, or whether they can put some into it. So, but security is this big problem. We hear from the commercial banks and other folk that this is all about money laundering and it's all about risk and it's you could lose all your money and there are lots of frauds and scams all over the place. And yes, once there's the internet, there will be frauds and there will be scams, but there will also be opportunities. And security is a very, very important area. And at KuCoin, where I do some limited trading. It's a very interesting exchange where you can send your cryptocurrency to it, with Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you can start looking at trading if that's something you like to do, and see if you can make some money there and grow your little BTC bags and learn and earn. It's very important to learn, and you only learn, I think, by getting into the game. But what about security? So there are a number of things that you're going to have to do to set up, and there are videos that will show you about how you set up your accounts and all that sort of thing. And one of them is creating your own private key, and it's private key that really is the root to all of your wealth, all your funds, all your cryptocurrency holdings. And you do need to make at least 2 copies of it, ideally handwritten copies, and put them in very secure places so that you can refer to your private key if in the event that you need to do so. One of the things that I have learned from experience and a bit of mishap is that if you fail to do something as simple as pay your cell phone bill, it can affect something called 2FA. Now, when you sign up with a private key on your exchange, in this case you're looking at KuCoin, you could be asked, or will more than likely be asked, to set up and have a 2FA, which is another layer of security. And what you do is that you will download the Google Authenticator app on your smartphone, and then you will use your private key to set up your 2FA. So it's another layer of security, and it's something that you need to look at in terms of how secure exchanges are. And the most secure ones that you find are very, very secure. Then more than likely, the more serious they are, and better ones that you would want to consider. But as I mentioned, you can set up your 2FA on your smartphone because you're going to be using your smartphone to go and put in your 2FA 6-digit number, which changes, I understand, every 3 seconds or so, on your exchange in order to have access to your account. However, if you go and mess up now, you fail to pay your cell phone bill, that 2FA could all be go out of sync, get into sync and out of sync, and then you have problems now actually getting back onto your account and accessing your funds. So that's just a little tip there about you need to be careful about how you look after your security. and of course and how you deal with your private key, which is very, very critical. It's just like your ATM card number, which you need to secure very carefully, or somebody will steal all your money that you have in your account. Ditto with your private key to go on an exchange and to get into your wallets and that sort of thing. So what I found with KuCoin is that I was locked out from the exchange around February this year. Again, I think it was the issue I had with I hadn't paid my phone bill, and then my 2FA was all out of sync, and then when I put it in, it wasn't working, and then I had to go through almost a rigmarole of almost like registering or convincing the customer service people at KuCoin that I really was a genuine person, I wasn't a hack. And I didn't enjoy it because it was very painful and very arduous to have to wait and go back and this bit of information, that bit of information, to actually get back into my own account. But it recognized one thing, that these people were very, very serious about security. Yeah. Also, they had upgraded the security, so there are more layers and layers of security. And to me, that's a very positive thing. You want to be going on an exchange that is very serious about looking after your security and their security as well. So that was a very positive thing. KuCoin is very good, I think, for a beginner because it's a very simple interface in terms of the exchange itself, and it's easy to get around and to trade in and do your transactions and to follow what's happening in the markets and that sort of thing. So that's one thing why I recommend KuCoin for beginners. But security, again, is very, very important. You need to keep track of all your trading details. So that in the event you need to have that information available, you have it available somewhere. So you have to do a little bit of an account in regards to if you're just playing, as I said, you can trade and learn with as little as $100 in value of say, Bitcoin. You don't have to be absolutely wealthy to start to learn and to earn and to trade, because you really want to earn. You really want to learn first of all, and then you can really start your earnings. All right. So security is very, very, very important. One of the areas that we found from a number of reports, including the recent Mueller report that came out. This was on the allegations of Russian tampering in the elections in the U.S. of 2016. One of the revelations in that report was something that a number of us who have been following the industry for some time are aware of, and we've read lots of reports on, but it's good to have another report to confirm it. And that is that Bitcoin and blockchain technology are totally unideal for fraudsters and scammers and that sort of thing if they want to use it to engage in transactions. If they want to go on an exchange and they want to send cryptocurrency from one exchange to another point or whatever, it's very, very, very risky for them to do so, and they're not taking those chances. They're rather very much prepared to do those type of transactions, actually hard U.S. currency or hard foreign currency. And the reason for this, again, is a point that has been made repeatedly, but there's so much misinformation and misguidance and truth out there in the industry. And one of the things that you hear very often is that a lot of trading in cryptocurrency, it's a lot about fraudsters, and these exchanges are unsecure, and there's no know your own customer, which the banks recognize is very important. That you need to have good, clear details on who your customer is to avoid money laundering and that sort of thing. But actually, a number of the exchanges, and I've just explained in the case of KuCoin, they go overboard in many senses to try to ensure that their exchanges will not be used for fraudulent methods and for money laundering, and that in fact, there are a lot of details that are available to the police enforcement agencies and security enforcement agencies, and it's very easy to track these individuals. So that's one myth that we need to dispel. If anyone tells you that these exchanges are ideal and they're being used for a lot of fraud and a lot of money laundering and that sort of thing, and that they're totally insecure, you should be able to say, no, that actually is not the case. That there is a lot of security out there. So I just want to touch briefly on this whole issue of security, because it's something that you need to pay a lot of attention to. Personal information, keeping accounts of your critical information, securing where that information is located, making sure you just don't put it on a computer, but you actually have it written down in a number of places and have it in secure locations. Have your private key information always secure, and keep up to date in terms of your 2FA information. And you'll find that trading and investing will be a lot more easier. And once you can find a nice, simple, introductory exchange like KuCoin, you'll be on your way to learning and eventually earning. So I'm Hallam Hope. This is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm here to give you my opinion. I want to thank you again for the 50 likes that I had on our last podcast. Please like the video, please subscribe, and please tell me what else you would like to know about trading, investing, and the whole question of what's happening with developments in the area of blockchain technology. Thank you, and blessings. Goodbye.